What if Demon Slayer had a perfect ending, or should I say a happier ending? Throughout the story, we saw many beloved characters pass away, but what if they hadn't died, and how could they have survived? You'll see that in this video, so grab your popcorn and enjoy the video right now. At the start of the story, when Tanjiro comes back from selling charcoal, he finds his family massacred, just as in the original timeline. The only survivor is Nezuko. Tanjiro tries to save her by taking her to a nearby doctor. As soon as Nezuko transforms into an Oni, Giyu appears, saving Tanjiro and seeing value in Nezuko. He sends Tanjiro to train with his old master, Urokodaki, the former water Hashira, so Tanjiro can pass the final selection. From this point, everything is just as in the original story, until we reach the Mugen train arc, where things will really change for the true happy ending. The most important point here is that Rengoku survives, and for that to happen, we need reinforcements on the train. The only way Rengoku survives is if another Hashira goes with him, but we need a Hashira strong enough to help deal with Akaza, the upper third moon. The safest option is for Gyome Himejima, the strongest Hashira, to join Rengoku. It's wise to say Gyome boarded the train with Rengoku to better observe Nezuko Kamado's actions after seeing her at the Hashira meeting. Right when the battle on the train begins, everyone falls asleep because of Enmu's blood demon art, but Nezuko wakes them up. From there, things happen differently. Rather than Zenitsu and Nezuko protecting the passengers with Rengoku, Gyome and Rengoku now hold the front line. Together they protect the train, while Tanjiro, Inosuke, Zenitsu and Nezuko move forward. With Enmu, the first Loa Moon, this fight goes much more smoothly and the four defeat Enmu much faster. When the train derails and the house appears, the real battle starts. That's the difference. This time, he takes the fight seriously from the start, because Gyome, the strongest Hashira, is by Rengoku's side. So, the instincts of Akaza tell him to fight with all his strength. After all, a dangerous duo is in front of him. So instead of Rengoku fighting alone, Gyome and Rengoku team up against Upper Moon 3. With Akaza fighting seriously from the start, the battle becomes extremely dangerous for both Rengoku and Gyome. Any carelessness could mean instant death, because Akaza wouldn't hesitate to take advantage of an opening. The fight extends until sunrise, when Akaza flees into the forest, and even with Gyome present, they couldn't finish him off, since Akaza was escaping. The fight is serious from the start, alert to any danger. During the battle against the two injured and tired Hashiras, the Oni would be able to escape. In the original timeline, Rengoku almost managed to hold him long enough for the sun to disintegrate him. But the main difference here is that the demon wouldn't risk standing still or playing around when Gyome is right next to Rengoku. Instead, he would play it safe, avoid being restrained, and run away before sunrise. So, in this version, Rengoku and Gyome return to the Demon Slayer Corps and report everything that happened in their battle against the Upper Moon 3. From there, the story moves on to the Entertainment District arc. This arc will happen the same way as in the original timeline. No other Slayer has a reason to join the Sun Hashira, Tanjiro, and his friends. Even if Tengen avoided losing his arm in this timeline, he would still retire because of the promise he made to his wives. So everything in the Entertainment District happens the same way. Tanjiro and his friends defeat the Upper Moon 6, Tanjiro loses, his arm is poisoned but Nezuko heals him. The fight concludes as in the original story, with Tengen retiring. The next two arcs also happen similarly to the original story, where basically, we keep everything happy, no one dies, the story goes smoothly, and all the Hashiras stay alive, even Rengoku. In this timeline, the Swordsmith village arc unfolds the same way as in the original storyline. Mitsuru and Mutsuru survive and awaken their Demon Slayer marks, greatly boosting the Corps' power. Next, we enter the Hashira training arc, where the Demon Slayers in general gain a considerable power-up. But now the real challenge begins. See, now we move on to the Infinity Castle arc, and here we need to keep everything carefully together to reach the possible ending. We no longer have Tengen since he retired, but Rengoku has been training for months and is now stronger than ever. In this timeline, he'll awaken his Demon Slayer mark due to his contact with Tanjiro. The goal here is simple, but it's hard to guarantee that Shinobu will survive her fight with Douma. keep Genya alive, keep Mitsuru alive, and finally, in the last battle, make sure that most of the Hashiras manage to survive. This is the foundation for creating the perfect happy ending. We will meticulously change things, fight by fight, so that the perfect ending happens. See the original scene where the battle with Akaza Upper Moon 3 takes place. Giyu and Tanjiro fought Akaza, but let's switch Giyu with Rengoku in the Akaza fight. Here's why. Rengoku faced Akaza in the Mugen train arc and held his own well. Besides, he already knows how Akaza's fighting style works, so he's more prepared. This role fits him perfectly. Now Rengoku and Tanjiro face Akaza. Rengoku keeps up with Akaza after awakening his mark, and Tanjiro also unlocks his transparent world and selfless state. And, just like in the original storyline, Akaza ends up causing his own defeat. That way, Akaza is defeated, and both Rengoku and Tanjiro survive. Now, the battle continues against Upper Moon 2 Douma, where Gyu Tomioka would be present alongside Shinobu. This change would work very well, since the two share a certain chemistry in the story. In addition, we will keep the original characters who fought against Douma after Shinobu's defeat, Inosuke and Kanao. With this team, Shinobu doesn't need to sacrifice herself. Here's why. Shinobu's poison continues to slow Douma down, while Gyu, being one of the strongest Hashiras with water breathing and his 11th form, Dead Calm. He keeps holding Douma back defensively, holding Douma off for long enough. Reinforcements arrive with Inosuke, adding unpredictable and reckless attacks that keep Douma under pressure. Kanao's flower breathing and her enhanced eye technique give her deadly precision in battle. Shinobu has already stated that it would take the equivalent of 3 warriors to kill Douma. At the Hashira level, working together and with this formation, that requirement is easily met. Gui and Shinobu are Hashiras, and Inosuke and Kanao together are strong enough to count as a third. So in this scenario, Douma is defeated and none die. Now comes the really tough fight, the Hunters battle against the Upper Moon. One Kokushibo. Note that in the original story, Muichiro was separated in the Infinity Castle and ended up facing Kokushibo first, while Genya watched helplessly as Muichiro nearly died. But in this timeline, things are different. When Muichiro is pulled into Kokushibo's room, Gyomei reacts faster and goes with him instead of being delayed. Now, Muichiro and Gyomei are together from the start, and that makes a huge difference. Gyomei and Muichiro are able to protect each other and survive longer, with both of them pressing on. Kokushibo, Genya doesn't suffer the same fatal injury he did originally, since Kokushibo is too busy with the 2 Hashiras. Later, Sanemi arrives and joins the battle. From this point on, it's essentially over. Kokushibo is overwhelmed by Gyomei, Multiro, Sanemi, and Genya's combined pressure. Even for him, Kokushibo still has that emotional moment of recognizing his brother Yorit's ideals. And before the end, instead of wiping out half the team, he falls after an exhausting battle. Gyomei and Multiro, Sanemi and Genya are bloodied and wounded but still alive. It's a brutal fight, but with these changes, no one dies. Then the Boyashi family leader sends the Hashiras and Tanjiro's group after Muzan. However, in the original story, the hunters move forward separately, which was an extremely desperate decision on their part. Fisto knew that Muzan could be recovering from Tamayo's poison due to the supernatural functions of his demon body. That's exactly why everyone calms down and makes a smarter decision. They choose to regroup first, instead of moving forward one by one like in the original story. Secondary battles unfold similarly, with Zenitsu defeating Kagako and Obanai and Mitsuri teaming up to defeat Nakimi. And when the Oni is killed, the Infinity Castle collapses, but this time everyone is thrown out before they can get trapped or crushed inside. This means that all the Hashira survive the collapse of the castle. Tanjiro also isn't seriously injured at this point, so he can still fight at full strength. Kanao is also still in good condition, and the Hashiras as a whole are much healthier as they enter the final battle. So, rather than facing Muzan while exhausted and half dead, the Demon Slayer Corps is closer to its full strength, with all the Hashiras alive and able to fight. Let's see what happens in this final battle. Entering the Countdown to Sunrise arc, where things change drastically, Tanjiro is on the front lines, fighting with the Transparent World, which is the sun breathing. But this time he has help from Shinobu, Muichiro, Rengoku, and the remaining Hashiras. With Tamayo's poison already weakening Muzan, the fight goes much more smoothly. They are still thrown back and some people lose limbs, just like Gyu in the original version, but this time no one dies. With all the Hashiras still standing and Tanjiro never backing down, Muzan is overpowered much faster. He doesn't even get the chance to turn Tanjiro into the Demon King. The hunters drag him into the sunlight and end the fight before he can react. So, thanks to the efforts of the core, the battle between humans and demons finally came to an end. But the story wasn't over yet after Muzan's defeat. Before I tell you how each hunter will go on with their lives, like the video right now and subscribe to the channel with the bell turned on to gain the strength of a Hashira. Now look, we have a very complicated part, the curse of the Demon Slayer mark. Notice that normally those who awaken it die before the age of 25. This would mean that you and the others would die soon. But for this happy ending, let's use a fan theory where the curse of the mark is nullified as soon as Muzan is defeated. It may be an exaggeration, but it's the only way to keep everyone alive longer. In this timeline, Omanai and Mitsuri live and continue their love story. Shinobu survives, and her sister can rest proudly in heaven knowing that she lived a full life. She and Gyu finally have their love story that we, the fans, always wanted to see. Tanjiro and Kanao, Zenitsu and Nezuko, and Inosuke and Aoi all end up together as couples. Mutsuru is happy from age 14 and her lineage continues, as does Shinobu's. This is different from what happened in the original timeline. Sanemi wants to make up for lost time with Genya, so they journey together across Japan. All the Hashiras Sanemi, Omanai, Shinobu, Tengen, Gyu, Gyomei, Rengoku, Mitsuri, and Mutsuru survive in this version. Did you like this ending? Was something missing that could have made it better? Comment below and check out this video I picked for you. I'm sure you'll like it. See you there, otaku.